Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners, wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection, and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
It's so easy.
Connecting, yeah.
Hey, ha. Boy, amen, amen, I can't take back hearing. DJ, give me now your cool hearing. Let me tell them how the thing goes. How the thing goes. Okay, okay. Chebe make a tamua. Say my picking go join God. You want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boys? Now you the wrong, get the kitty, you the wrong, get enough to drink with a drop cup. Hey, so you see how the thing goes? How the thing goes? Oh, you tell me who blend you? And who? Alright, take it easy and let's play some behind the waist. Okay. This one of his job, no we can't use. Go school, you go the fem tools. And all the parameters set you want the farm too. See, even your papa not to save you. For all the calamity when they pick it done do. Man, all the niggas don't find you. Because that nigga when you play on my don't move. Oh boy, don't move. Ha, hey, come on, let's go. Chebe make a tamua. Say my picking go join God. Ha, you want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boys? Now you the wrong, kitty, you the wrong, get enough to drink with a drop cup. Ha, hey, Jabba, you see how the thing goes. I said, telling me who blamed you. And who? Okay.
Wake up, rise up. It's the Net Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
Okay, everybody, good morning to you, and of course, welcome. Welcome to it. Good to have you here. This is the Era TT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean, the pride and joy of Trinidad and Tobago. As we take you above and beyond, good day to everybody, wherever you may be, whether here in TNT, up and down the Eastern Caribbean. Those of you who are streaming all around the globe, we welcome you to our slice of paradise. I mean, no, I don't understand one thing that he's saying in the song, but I like the beat of the music. It's nice. Get you going in fine style, and that is what we are catering to, making sure that we get you going in the right kind of way, put you in the right frame of mind, bouncing around. Yeah? Let me say much thanks to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day, and everything that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing on to you. People, I am yours truly, Sir Charles, and of course, yes, happy am I to be in your company. And as the song says, you play with the big boys. And that is what we are. So we welcome you to our Get Up and Go. This is your breakfast show.
Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line, let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Okay, let him do his thing. And look how he's looking.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Welcome to the breakfast show this morning, and good morning to our listeners and viewers wherever they are, wherever you are on this Tuesday morning. Of course, it looks like it's going to be a good day. Hopefully, it will be a great day.
It's always a great day when you're alive.
In terms of the weather. Anyway, welcome to the breakfast show, and good morning to my co-hosts, Wendell and Sir Charles. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Richard. Good morning to Charles. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. It's an absolutely beautiful Tuesday morning, as you said. Well, in Arima, that is. It's beautiful. You know, the weather is fine. The birds are chirping. The fishes are swimming. The turtles are sauntering. You know, it's a beautiful day. And I have a Hana fig growing from a green fig tree that came up yesterday. It's always good to It's always good to see nature at its full blast. I have some sunflower seeds that are going to be springing flowers just now. I have a cactus that also a flower is coming from a cactus. Oh, isn't life beautiful? Isn't nature beautiful?
Wonderful.
Oh, I was just trying actually to get the lyrics of that song, Sir Charles, but I couldn't get it. The song that you just played. I Want a Bamba. Is that it? You Want a Bamba?
Yeah, well, it's a song like all different kinds of thing, you know.
Yeah, but it's an infectious song, eh?
Yeah, the beat nice. You know?
Yeah. Give us a little taste again, because I'm sure a lot of people danced it this morning.
It's
So easy.
the night tunes, yeah.
Hey, ha. Boy, okay, take me hearing. DJ, give me now your cool hearing. Let me tell them how the thing goes. How the thing goes. Okay. Chebe make a tamua. Say my kina go join God. You want to bamba? You wanna chill with the big boys? Now you the wrong, get the kitty, you the wrong, get the up, we drink with the drop cup. Hey, can you see how the thing goes? How the thing goes? Oh, you tell them who blend you. And who? All right, take it easy, and let's play some behind.
Goya Meno. I think he's Ghanaian. Goya Meno. Nectunes. Goya Meno featuring Nectunes. And it's performing Amino. The theme of the tune is Amino. Ameno. And it is in fact Ghanaian. Amino, yes. Sung by okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it means, but I'm hoping it's uplifting lyrics.
Of course it is. Anything coming out of Africa is uplifting. Anything coming out of Africa is uplifting.
Oh, well, that's a broad brush, but okay. Yeah. A real broad brush.
Yeah. And I go in there, I went there.
Since it's the largest continent, so it's a real broad brush.
But it's beautiful. It's good. What wrong with our boss this morning? What message is he sending?
Right. He might be wrong, huh? But Corey, you might be wrong.
Corey, let me tell you something. You see fishes, they don't argue, they don't make demands. You see turtles, they don't argue, they don't make demands. You see plants, they don't argue, they don't make demands. You see cactus, they don't argue, they don't make demands. You see birds, they don't argue, they don't make demands. Anything else you want to know, Corey Pascal? Anything else you want to know?
And they don't carry the court.
No. Most importantly.
They don't leave with half of the house.
Are you indirectly criticizing women or wives?
How woman come in this? Yeah, husband Corey. How woman come in this?
I said indirectly.
No. I am praising.
You're naming all kind of things in nature, and your addendum is they don't argue. They don't what? They don't
complain. They don't argue.
They complain. They don't argue.
Mm-hmm. I mean, sure what's and to Charles, they don't take it to court and they don't take half away out.
Exactly.
So
I said, are you all indirectly complaining about women or wives?
Of course not.
No. We just praising birds, fishes, plants, turtles.
Step carefully through the tulips. I hear you.
I'll leave the kid, yes. One life, you better live it.
Yep. And you know what? It's a good segue into our good news for this morning. Because we always start with some good news.
You've ever been sold is safety. See, most people live their entire life choosing what's safe. They follow the rules, the job, they stay in the relationship, build a life that looks good. And that's because your mind is designed to crave safety, to stay in the familiar, to keep everything under control. But then there's another voice, a quieter one that doesn't yell but pulls, the one that whispers that there's more. And you feel it when you're alone, in silence, in moments where everything goes still. And that, by the way, is the part of you that wants to break free, that wants to feel alive again. And that's your soul. And your soul doesn't want comfort, it doesn't want good, it doesn't care what people will think. It came here to expand, to grow, to burn and wake up. You know what I'm talking about. That voice that tells you leave, quit, jump, to say what you actually feel, to live what you actually want. And in that moment you have two choices. One, shut it down, two, follow it. Now most people shut it down, and that is dangerous because betraying that voice is betraying yourself. So if you want a life that's real, you have to stop chasing what's right and start choosing what's true. Even if it makes no sense, even if it scares you, even if no one else gets it. And maybe that's the whole point, because nothing great ever came from playing it safe. Your soul wasn't made for a cage, it was made for the unknown. And the unknown is where you meet who you really are. And trust me, it will never let you down.
Okay.
A little bit of wisdom there.
Yeah.
Freedom.
Is he French?
I'm not so sure what nationality is. It sounds kind of French.
Yeah.
But some food for thought on our good news segment for today.
I want to remind people, right, that just under 2 weeks ago, I came on the station, right, on the breakfast show, and I poured my heart out insofar as West Indies cricket is concerned. And I said I will never watch West Indies cricket again. And if I do, you all could do me what all you want. Okay? I said that. I lived up to that yesterday. I lived up to that recently. And I did not watch a single bowl of this third test match between West Indies and Australia. I did not put on my TV. I did not look at anything. What I did see was a whole lot of posts on Facebook, social media, and I even pick up the phone and call. Clint Williams called me. My doctor called me. Brian Bocage called me. Everybody calling me and texting me and tagging me. Sean Lynch tagged me. JSL tagged me. Tony Fraser tagged me. Everybody pouring out their heart on social media yesterday. They crying, they bawling their heart. They said they're done. I tell all of that the other day. They said, no, Mendel, you're going to be back again. You know, West Indies just put in their worst performance ever in a test match against Australia yesterday. Losing inside of 3 days, being bowled down for 27. 27, I didn't make a mistake. 27 runs. The West Indies cricket team got bowled down for yesterday. I did not look at anything, and I don't care. It's good for all you who stuck with it. You understand? And all you who say, oh, you continue to support, it's good for you. I have no regrets. West Indies, and it's a pity, though, that we have such a good bowling team now, but them fellas and them, I told you all the other day, they don't even deserve to play on Timari. All you don't know what is Timari? Go in the savannah and play and run through the savannah, and you will see what is Timari. They don't even deserve to play on that.
Sting and little cousin.
Yes, they don't even deserve. I tell all you all, listen. But all you went again and watched cricket over the last few days and bowling this morning. Not me. Not me. West Indies cricket, Darren Sammy. Darren Sammy is a coach. The man could have barely played cricket himself. He's a coach. He picking test side. Nah, man. We can't be serious. The only saving grace out of West Indies cricket now, and I've been very blunt, is that our bowling has improved tremendously. And guess why? Because we have a Trinidadian coach. Ravi Rampal is the bowling coach. That is why. I've given him praises this morning. All praises to Ravi Rampal and what he has done with these bowlers, because them bowlers is a whole different. Them young fellas and them determined. You could see they have talent. You could see that they want to do the job. Congratulations to Ravi Rampal, the Trinidadian former West Indian Trinidadian bowler. Thank God for him. Darren Sammy and them should disappear from cricket. John Campbell, Craig Braffett and them don't even deserve Timari. Well, you get out of here. Leave me alone. And all who continue, Sean Lynch, Brian Bocage, two medical doctors of renown, Tony Fraser, a renowned journalist, James Purcell, he was the head of the Parang Association, very talented young man, Tony Marslin, who else? The man called Clint Williams, very excellent cricketer back in the day. All who tagging me on social media and commenting. You understand? I wish all you luck. That's my cricket rant. I wish all you luck. I see somebody 27 played at the 4 p.m. draw. Well, look at that. Play 27 whole week. You might win some money. Disgraceful. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
Maybe they need to get out of the cricketing business then.
Well, they should take away all of the fees. They shouldn't pay none of them cricketers nothing. Well, they should pay the bowlers. Pay the bowlers the match fee and keep the batsmen, take away their money. Don't pay them a cent. And Darren Sammy, they should fine him. He already get fined the other day in the first test match. He get fined, for a comment he make, But they should never pay him. Waste of time. And all this still messaging.
All right, so there's Wendell's rant this morning on the state, the nature, the decline, continued decline of West Indies cricket.
And
I want to answer the boss. Let me answer a question there. I want to answer the boss of M&E TV. A guy, a very, very talented guy. Very, very talented. His name is Peter C. Lewis. All you know him? I want to answer him. Yes, anybody could be a better coach than Darren Sammy right now. You and all, Peter, could be a better coach than Darren Sammy. He's a complete waste of time.
Oh, my word.
Right. That's it. I'm done.
So that segment was called Gone From Here.
Gone from here.
The way that you say that, Richard, that have no effect, You have to say it. Anyway, nobody tell you what to say. No, let me leave you alone.
Get scram.
That's for Wendell's rant, but also for anyway.
So isn't that do they still how do I say bask in when they are this low ebb of the West Indies cricket? Do the fans still hold on to rally around the West Indies?
So Charles, they are nothing lower than what happened yesterday,
You'll be surprised.
They are nothing lower. The lowest score in a test match is 26, Ever, West Indies make 27.
Well, as I said, you'd be surprised. Remember, we just said the same thing about politics, It's nothing worse than that. And
Well,
then
true,
boom.
So true. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Just when you didn't think you could get a worse minister than the last minister of national security, well, boy.
Can we greet our listeners in the
I think we should. Don't let them go on a next rant right now.
Save me.
I get back-to-back rants, Wendell.
Save me. Save me and save him. Peace stain and all. Save me. Let's see that last video with the Minister of Homeland Security and one of those bloggers. That peace stain distracted me,
At what?
A peace stain distracted me, in
Are
that
you
video.
saying the words pea stain?
All right. Pest stain.
You're talking about a pea stain on whom, may I ask?
You watch
Hey,
the
let me
video.
give you now.
Watch the video.
You bring up early morning radio. I think we just broke a record. I don't think there's any early morning radio anywhere on the planet that has ever introduced the concept of a pea stain. Okay, so Wendell, Stephen, you're now one for the records.
So, folks,
So we are now discussing pea stains. So to whom may we attribute a pea stain in a video?
yeah, what I do, I have enough police trouble. In my space lately, I have enough police trouble. I don't want no more.
You bring up pea stain, That's a topic. That's a topic men don't really talk about because women don't really get it much. It's men.
Well, women don't know. I don't know how women don't get it.
Men get it.
Well, it has happened to women also.
I know, but it's more feature of men. It's more feature of men.
Yeah.
I never see that on no woman. I know I see that on real men.
Feature of men. And there's no kind of thing to hide it. There's pull out his shirt. there's wash the hand and do so.
To make it look like if it's from the water from the sink.
What we can recommend is in situations like that, when you reach to that kind of stage, wear dark colored clothes, wear anything black all the time.
Sir Charles understands it when there.
Yes, I understand it. But men stay back in bathroom.
Every now and then you might see a man in the bathroom and in the dryer.
Oh, you get it on the dryer with this thing.
You raise up yourself, though.
No. How you do that?
They spend half an hour inside and they with a piece of tissue wiping. Hoping
The
it dry.
trials of these days. Well, boy, Bedesi, we put you up long on the thing saying good morning.
Boy, Bidesi got featured for a long while this morning. Boy, you ever had a piece there?
We get distracted by talking about, of all things, these things. Really.
But that video had a piece in it that just blew me away. I'm sure you looking back at it this morning and saying,
you know when I make the video viral, you.
Oh, that happened to me.
Now I'm curious.
Now people go in and yeah, what do you think about it? The most people had to play it about 3 or 4 times to see it.
No, the piece then shows up very early in the video. And it continues because he is leaning over. Anyway, go and find the video and see it. I'm not sharing that video.
All right. So, Boy Bedesi, you want to read this stream, please?
Yes. Morning, Boy Bedesi from DB. Susan Jessup, of course, comes in right after at 3:05. God's love and grace. Nice topic and guest this morning. Love. Of course, we will have Mr. Richardson.
Deryck Richardson,
from the Estate Police Association right after our news. Zubash Mongal says, good morning, everyone from Woodland. Zubash, you have had a piece in. Garfield Hazel also says, good morning. Breakfast crew, hope everybody had a restful night. I did. DL says, good morning, crew. I'll tow your line with my comments. Okay, well, not my line, but we just want everybody to respect one another and not bully one another. We want everybody to feel comfortable in the chat and on this show, right? At all times. Wendy and James says, good morning, Wendell, Richard and Sir Charles. Happy Tuesday. Marcia Rock, good morning from, is she the one from Orlando? I think so, Florida. Anthony Tinto, grand rising to the breakfast crew. Tinto doing some serious farming out there well, he live in real far. He out in the countryside in Toronto. He says, happy birthday to his son, Anthony Tinto Jr., a.k.a. Zico. All right? So happy birthday to Anthony Tinto Jr.
Happy birthday to Zico.
Yes, Zico, of course. Happy birthday also to one of our ardent fans on the breakfast show, Lincoln.
Happy birthday, Lincoln.
Yeah, Lincoln is celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday,
hope you have a good one today, Lincoln.
You look a day older than 80. Melchizedek says, good morning, guys. Stellar Services, good morning. Melissa from Chamflair. Hill Benj, sending much blessings your way. Marlon Motley from...
Morning, Marlon.
Marlon, you have had a piece in... Sherwin and Juliet Kerr saying, good morning to all, and wedding anniversary to his wife and himself. Oh, today they're celebrating their wedding anniversary. All right, Sherwin and Juliet Kerr, how many years? Happy anniversary. Eva Smith says, blessed morning, Sir Charles, Richard, Wendell, and the breakfast crew, and all locked on. Have an enjoyable and safe day. Slick Money Grip, good morning, gentlemen and crew. Brennan Smith from Goodwood in Tobago. Cheryl Johnson from Malabar in Arima. Anne-Marie Watson from Maloney. Good morning. Lennox Francois, good morning, young boys. May God give you. He's from Baltimore. All right. Lambert Bruce from El Dorado. Hazel Will, good morning, everyone. Maureen Dilchan Maharaj, of course, good morning, and everyone blessing. Wayne Ramsey from Fort Lauderdale, good morning, guys. Wayne, contact Sharon Moore and Claudia Ramsey. They have a little line for you to attend. Doreen Pierce says, good morning, breakfast crew. Diane Payne also says, good morning. Kurt Hope from Nashville. Is Tennessee, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Nashville, Tennessee. Carol Guevara from Chaguanas says, morning. Robert Taylor from Fernandina Beach in Florida. Marlene Saunders says, good morning. Kathy Ann Charles, good morning for the breakfast. Kathy Ann Charles, I get a message about you already for the morning. I'm just letting you know, right? Rena Jennings, good morning, guys. Odell Guy from Sangre Grande says, good morning. Alice Hart, Andrew Joseph, Kathy Ann Charles says, yes, Wendell, Jim was good this morning. So I heard. Shuma Paul, good morning to everyone. Gavin Frank from Powder Magazine. Susie B, who I think is Susie Billuin, I think. Good morning, everyone. Valerie Mendoza from Dabadi. Bernadette Yates. CJ from New York says, have a wonderful day.
Good morning, CJ.
Josie Richardson says, good morning. Mrs. R, good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. R.
Suzanne Jessup said, nice tune, Sir Charles. Of course it is. Scorpion Pepper, good morning. Good people. Maureen Maharaj. I don't know if it's the same. This can't be the same Dilchan Maharaj. Maybe it's a different person. Nazir Ali, Elia Rizan says, good morning. Wish everyone a safe day. Ron DeSantis Jr. says, good to see the show screen back to normal. Richard does be switching around these screens, Ron DeSantis. I don't know if you know that, right? So we're never in the same position on the screen. Robert Harper says, good morning, gentlemen. Congratulations, Wendell, on being able to talk this morning. Robert, I had to let them have it. All the people who continue to watch West Indies cricket, I had to let them know. Patricia D4, Donna Ramlo Chan, Alistair Hart, strangely enough, 27 played at 4 p.m. draw. I hope people won.
Oh, that's what they were talking about.
Play.
They'll play this morning again, or they're going to play again.
Yeah, you can play for the rest of the week, because that will last a while. Donna Ramlo Chan, Timothy YouTube Johnson, Valerie Mendoza say I think it's time, Darren.
Timothy says game over. That was his message.
Oh, that's okay. Sorry, I missed that. Game over from Timothy. Trinidad Margot says good morning from Florida. And he mad. I don't know who's that. Might be Darren Sammy. Alistair Hart says only a Trini can say something like gone from here. You sure, right? Seth says in the words of Keith Christopher, when he say that. When he say that. West Indies cricket. It's reference to West Indies cricket. Dean Allen says, hi everyone. Did not rant. That not a rant. That was a cricket commentary. Wendell is an avid cricket player. I will get player. I done watch cricket. West Indies cricket, that is, right? I'll watch Nicholas and Puran and them and Pollard in the T20 wherever they play. Ozzy Molino, good morning. Deryck Richardson also says good morning. Joyce Phillips, Robert Harper, welcome to the Asylum of Madness and Urine. Helen McCarthy, Helen from Princestown says good morning, guys. Brenda from Penal says good morning. Ambrose Blah says good morning to the crew. Alistair is wishing Lincoln happy birthday. Oronde Timothy, Lincoln, hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for the birthday greetings. Lincoln, you owe us a drink or something. I don't know. Cake, ice cream, I don't know. Anything. Or a day of not criticizing the police. Maybe you could do that for your birthday.
Oh, Lord, leave the man alone. Oh, God. My birthday.
And Susie B is confirming the B is for billionaire. Hi, Susie. Julia Batiste, Suzanne Jessup, Wendell hot this morning. I'm hot every morning, Suzanne. You will not believe it. Riri says good morning, guys. Hi, Riri. Long time no hear from. And CJ from New York says good morning, Lincoln. Happy birthday. Wishing you many more healthy and happy years ahead. Lincoln is now laughing. Lincoln, you ever had a peace day, boy? I don't. Is that an age thing or that's an everybody thing?
That's an everybody thing.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it has anything to do with age.
No, it does also,
Eh?
Yeah.
Enlighten us, please.
Yeah, please enlighten us.
No, there's a
quote the study. And quote the study.
Yeah. Give us the study. Give us the data, the background of it.
I don't have all of it, but I've heard about it, and there's a name for it also. There's when you reach a certain age and everything. Yeah.
For a peace day?
For peace day?
Yes, it is. I will get it and we'll deal with it one day. But I can't do it. But I know there's a name for it.
Well, Lincoln, backing up your theory, you say you get more as you get older. No, it's called using a piece of tissue.
No,
that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as both men and women, as they get older,
he's talking about urinary leakage.
Yeah.
They experience urinary leakage or dribbling, which can lead to pee stains. This is often due to age-related changes in bladder control and muscles, as well as conditions like enlarged prostate or urinary tract infections. It's not a normal part of aging. It is not a normal part of aging, but it is an experience for many older men, and it is often treatable. So get some treatment, Sir Charles.
or don't use the urinal, use the toilet and get a piece of tissue. That's what you do.
So you're getting some advice here this morning, Sir Charles. And it is treatable, so you don't have to be depressed about it anymore.
African music helps though.
Yes. Well, I'm not at the point of having to get depressed or anything like that. Okay, so but I know I read a lot about some stuff and thing, and every now and then a lot of these things come across. So and some are very interesting because you don't know where you might be heading at some point in time.
Well, Ron DeSantis Jr. is calling it old man Wang. I've never heard that term before. But it's not
a dead sentence.
Yeah, it's definitely not. But you should be conscious of it when you're doing a video, though.
Yeah. Anyhow, let me say good morning to Anita out there in Vegas. Good morning to you, Anita. Also to Salty Constructions Limited. Salty, you need to give us a call here at New Era Radio, okay? Also, Mr. Beeps out there in Pity Valley. Good morning to you. Mr. Billy, who is an avid cricket fan. Good morning to you. Archbishop Ashton Clark in Canada. Good day to you. Carlon in Carenage, probably on his way to work right now. Good day. Oliver Manwaring, good morning. Terry Ann Peters, good morning. And also Terry Ann George, good morning to you. Kent in Laventille, good morning. Margaret Thomas, good day to you, Miss Margaret. To Suzanne and all of the chats, good morning to you, Susie. The folks at Horatio Services, good morning to you. Kurt Edwards, good morning. And Curtis saying, Arima get 4 bins, so don't forget to say. Yeah.
All praises to Mayor, what's his name again? Baliram. Mayor Baliram.
Right. And Ethel Fraser, good morning to you. Good morning to Zena, who is up very early. And Michael out there in Long Island. All these people on the WhatsApp chat this morning. Yeah.
Our boss is suggesting that you sit down like women too. I've heard that too. I've heard that suggestion. I've heard that. You sit down like women. I don't know how that would stop the stain.
When it says sit down like women, how?
It means sit down on the floor. Don't stand up, but they say don't stand up to peace, sit to peace.
Yeah, sit. I've heard that suggestion.
I've heard that before too.
Yeah. You see, with that, we just introduced a health segment there.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
For all the men who've had it and been ashamed of it, now you know you can. There are solutions to it, right?
Yeah. So go see about it. Don't be ashamed because as men don't like to go and see about things and stuff, but
and they don't understand it might be early signs of prostate issues too. They don't understand that. Because everybody afraid the injection and afraid the finger. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Thank you very much.
We'll get a doctor on this program one of these mornings, a urologist in particular.
Urinary inconsistency.
Yeah, to help men go through some of these issues. But please, in the meantime, avoid videos with the stain. Okay, that's all. Just avoid doing a video with the stain, right? And as Richard suggested earlier on, and Sir Charles, pull out your shirt. Let your shirt hang over that area so that nobody sees it, Don't tuck back in your shirt, you know what I mean? Or keep your hands cross in front of you. When you walk out the bathroom or whatever, until it dries. It dries eventually, Yeah.
Thanks for letting us know all of this, Wendell.
So you see how people are very in tune with this. Angela, and she's a female, is saying that what you can do in situations that is just that don't be in too much of a hurry to leave the bathroom.
Yes,
take your time when you get there, spend a couple extra minutes and just let everything come out.
You have some people who's black all along in a bathroom, Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what he was doing inside there, there's some other good news. Apparently, Arima
Also, wait, you cut ribbon for garbage bin in Arima?
Arima received. Stop being duplicitous. It's you send the picture.
Imagine the person with bin now. Oh my word.
Arima received 4 bins.
Yes.
I'm just seeing on the side there, I think from Rotoplastics. So thank you, Rotoplastics. And of course, it was a moment for the entire Arima Council to come out.
Like Arima ain't get nothing for so long.
Usually they have nothing to come out for.
You get 4 bins.
I hear red executives and all kind of things had to come out for photo op. I think for this bin, you know.
They came out for the photo op for the bins.
But the bin's almost taller than the mayor. Huh? Richard, the bin's almost taller than the mayor.
Oh my word. I think we should go ahead.
PNM is going to excommunicate me, you know. They're going to banish me out of the party.
Great is the
They're going to banish me out of the party just now. Oh, gosh.
Yes. So, the Burgesses of Arima, we got 4 bins, and it was a photo op. God knows where those bins are going, but where the bins shall go.
Like in the market, aren't they in the market?
I don't know. Where the bins shall go. That sounds like a song.
Arima need about 4 dozen bin.
Boy,
where the bins shall go.
Oh, well, I got a
Nobody knows.
I got a contact for a urologist. Good morning, I'm Jad Ali from Furniture Plus, and of course, also good morning to Gary Adge from Schaffler Auto. They are now on board with the breakfast show, and of course, Horatio from Horatio Enterprises. And we welcome you all. The more people come on board with us and to show their products, the later we'll go. We promise you that, right? Okay. Richard and I and Sir Charles ain't got nothing to do after when we done here.
You know, I love it when people speak for me and my time. Anyway, let's get into the headline before we take some calls.
All right. You need help? Or you have all there?
Well, I have the news day.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, I've been in the news day. If you don't want to do the experts, I can do it.
No, I can do it.
News day. Workers sick out on oil platform, Saman and Pui Fields affected. So apparently there's a sick out on. You know, I always wanted to visit an oil platform.
Yeah.
I suppose it's maybe it's a HSC issue. Maybe it's a health and safety issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I always wanted to visit. You grow up your whole life in Trinidad and Tobago, which is an oil-producing country for over 100 years plus. And as citizens, we don't really ever interface with the infrastructure of oil, unless you're in it.
True.
You know, and I'm not talking about going to an NP gas station. And, but I mean, like, you know, but like going to an oil refinery when we had it, or going to an oil platform, an oil rig, you know, you don't really, it's just, you might as well be living in a country that doesn't have it because we don't interface with it at all. I've always been interested in seeing what it's like, you know, you see it in movies and stuff. That's the closest you get to it, you know, seeing pictures of it.
But you know, the smell, I mean, when I used to go down, like you drive through Point 14, the refinery, sometimes you're going, the smell is what used to upset me though. It's a strong smell, eh?
Anyway, apparently there's a sick out on some of the platforms. Seti Karim has been kidnapped. Well, Balsin residents are fearful after kidnapping, and I think it's Seti Karim, age 44, missing since the 13th of July. So this is really sad news, and hopefully the TTPS is on top of it, and hopefully there will be some resolve in a positive way to this story. Cops mom after Gonzalez triple murder, focus on youth to stop crime
Gonzalez, more CPAP lawsuits coming. And Casket and Israel Bungie all score big on Media's wedding. Apparently, one of the songs was featured in Media's wedding as part of the music school. So that's it for the news day for this morning. Over to you, Wendell, on the Express.
All right, today's Express. Today is July 15, 2025. Mom snatched by gunmen, and that's a really curious story, I have to tell you. My mind went all different manners of places because she was with her husband and her child at the time, and she was snatched and kidnapped. You know, it's a crazy story. URP fraud for cops, smashed for 27, and of course we spoke about that very early this morning. West Indies was bowled out for their lowest ever test score by Australia, 27 runs. Within 3 days, they've lost another test match. Silver Bowl gold for Wilson and Fraser, and also in today's Express, Belmont bloodbath, 3 killed, toddler escapes. I don't know if you all saw that video too, Richard. Did I share that video in the chat? I think I did. Where there was a toddler just amongst the guys and them just prior, and the toddler ran off back to wherever she came from because she probably related to one of the guys who was there. And then this car pulled up and just started to spray bullets. And the thing is that 2 guys ran one way and then 3 guys ran the way to the same direction that the toddler ran. So all I was hoping when I saw it is that toddler had already gone inside and thing, because I think those were the 3 guys that died.
Oh, I know. I didn't see that video. You never said that.
I shared it in the group. I'm almost certain I did.
Oh.
You know, it's a crazy video again. Bar launches probe after Maggot's video. Fired CPAP workers disappointed, struggling to make ends meet. Smashed for 27. Of course, that's West Indies again. And ministry investigating security guard ambush at Malick Secondary. All right, that's today's Express, people.
Okay, so in The Guardian this morning, veteran broadcaster Hans Hanumansing was laid to rest yesterday. The life of veteran broadcaster, cultural icon, and former politician Dr. Hans Hanumansing was celebrated yesterday. He was laid to rest at the Curate Presbyterian Church. Also, URP under scrutiny over corruption allegations. Ministry probes break-in Malick Secondary. Division of Food Security holds strategic discussions with Agricultural Ministry. And Gerald Ramdeen appointed NGC chairman. I'm sure they didn't realize that story.
Yeah, I saw that.
President champions national transformation through PAN, and Tobago burglars in failed attempt to break into ATM. I'm trying to spoil Tobago. So, all right. So, yeah, that's it for The Guardian.
Mm-hmm. I sent the video, Richard.
I don't necessarily want to see it, but I was just saying.
No, it's not. It's not graphic, you know. But it's not graphic. It's not graphic like that. You don't actually see anybody being shot, but you saw the incident that led to it.
Oh.
You know. So it's a video that you can show. It's as crazy as you could get.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's invite our callers inside now.
Yeah.
All right, let's take on before we come. Wendell gonna come up with a poll just now.
Yeah.
Wendell is the poll man.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that your poll had no drip, but. Hey. All right, okay. All right, so the birthday boy is inside with us this morning, very early. Good morning to you, caller.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning. Happy birthday, son.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. A question that I have to ask. We have similar. I used to ask the question on the PNM, so I hope nobody don't find why asking that question now. I notice the sycophants of the ruling party now asking that question. It has nobody else in this country that qualified and unemployed that they could have put as chairman at the NGC. similar to what was happening with the PNM. I had the same problem under the PNM, where we keep recycling and giving the same gainfully employed people more money. And while on the other hand, we have unemployed people coming out of university with masters and bachelors and all these you can get, remaining unemployed. You understand? Under the PNM, it was Rodney Smart. He was on everything, on the board, everything that there was to do, he was on it. After he retired, he gained a pension and he on everything that there is, he still gained money from the government. Here we have this recent incident where what are we doing? Why are we not giving young people, unemployed people opportunities? Why we keep recycling these same people and giving them more money and more money and more money and more jobs and more board and more this and more free vehicle and free gas and free this and free this? Why do we keep doing that?
That particular board had somebody heading it and they didn't last more than a month, you know.
Yeah. Thanks very much.
There was early controversy with that particular board, and that's like the A board. NGC is an A board along with NLCB and so on, right? These are A boards, and I think there was a guy named Mr. Ramadar Singh who was heading that board already. He was selected by this government, and he didn't last a month.
Okay, they had already chosen somebody already.
Yes.
I said the board no going in place.
No.
Oh, okay. Wow. Good morning, Miss Sampson.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Charles, I would like to hear the national anthem on a morning with the steel pan. It's wonderful. Okay. I'm not telling you
I'll send you a copy of it.
You can switch, one morning. It's lovely to hear it on the steel pan.
No problem.
You all have a good day.
Okay. Thanks very much, Miss Sampson.
Vanilla, is it that you wanted me to show the video?
Yeah.
I told it.
People may not have seen it. The video led to the triple murder.
Yeah, let me just get the caller inside and then they can show the video after this call, right? Hello, good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard and Wendell and all leaders locked on.
I see now.
CG, Arena, everybody. There's Stigo Martin enjoying herself out in Texas and Brooklyn and all about traveling all over America. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Locked on, and she's always locked on. What I want to say, Sir Charles, you didn't read when after I say good morning. I told you that we call it incontinence.
I saw it after. I saw it after.
You didn't understand what I meant.
No, I saw it after.
What you all were talking about now?
Yeah.
They call it incontinence, and especially senior citizens. I know Richard going to say it's like how I know about it. Very good.
No, I'm not on you this morning. When I'm on you, I will let you know.
I thank you. I thank you very much.
You know anyway.
You love that. You love the shaking and the sitting and peeing and all that. Anyhow, I'm just saying good morning. Well, as Lincoln say, they talk about the PNM, but it's the same thing. Job for the boys. Jobs for the boys. That's all.
Thanks very much, Zina.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah. Same old. Yeah, you want to show the video now, or you doing something else? Or we staying with the calls?
Okay, it was a little snarky, but I will let it pass.
Okay. And just
absolutely sickening.
No, the sad part about this, and that's why I tell earlier about my stance on ministers of national security and police commissioners and crime on the whole, right? There was a time the social media would have been flooded about Heinz cheering, Rowley cheering, PNM country, blame this, blame that, blame that. There was a time. That's what you would have gotten after that video. Guess what? Complete silence now. This
Caller,
crime,
good morning to you.
I don't think people understand it,
But it's early days yet, I wonder.
Yeah,
but still.
No, but I think it's still early days for people to get to the point of criticism, which is something that Keith Scotland would have brought up yesterday. Why they're not criticizing, but it's new. It's still relatively a young government.
Yeah.
Remember, PNM was there for 10 years.
Well, I hear in that here, Richard, but guess what? I have a counter to that, And I mean, as I say, I didn't want to go down the political route, but we have a government that was in opposition for 10 years. They said they had all the answers. Okay, you've come into government and you've shown absolutely no idea of how to deal with this, when you would have had time to study it and fix it, and you promised to fix it immediately. I mean, you said 6 months.
That also was said by the PNM in 2015. They were outside planning.
That's what I'm telling you. I don't want to politicize it. You understand? I know politicians do that.
But I just did.
No, I just repeated.
Can we take the call before the poll, please? Right, Mr. Patrick. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Wendell, Mr. Charang Basing. Mr. Scotland, Trinidad and Tobago, the White Arm country. Wendell was on our conversation, yesterday, I made a statement to some people. The Honorable Prime Minister want to make certain things in this country illegal. So I asked the question, if you live in an Islamic state, because you 18 years you could vote, 18 years you could marry, 18 years you could make a baby, 18 years you could get locked up. But you want to tell somebody 25 years, they can't play lotto, 25 years, they can't play smoke weed, and 21 years to drink alcohol. And I asked him the question, there's big people dealing with it. So if a young lady wants to work now in a casino, what age she has to be? You know what I said? If a young man wants to work in a bar, what age he has to be? So I don't understand where we're going with this whole system. And now
I agree with you, Mr. Patrick, and I do not support the age restrictions. In case anybody was in doubt, as I always said, if you're an adult, you are an adult. If you want to change the age of majority and make people under 21 minors, okay, that's an option. But if you're an adult, you're an adult. And if you're 18, you're entitled to this. And all of these experts, they're rolling out to say, oh, this is good and this is good and this is good, or save me with the BS.
Because you could sell the alcohol now, you could go in the casino and work, but guess what? You can't gamble and you can't drink. But you're old enough to work in the establishment.
And nobody's presenting any data that this age group between 18 and 21 or 18 to 25 is disproportionately affected. Nobody. It's just like somebody feels so, and everybody talking about they feel so. Or they have some study that show that X, Y, and Z. What's the data for Trinidad and Tobago with regard to that age group? That's how our intelligent country is supposed to function. show me the data and say, this is why it's a problem, this is the problem, this is the data, this is the scans we have done, and then people will say, okay, well, maybe you have a point. And maybe,
that's
yes,
where,
it's justified. Don't tell me because you feel so.
Yeah, and they've clearly, oh, I should put it, that's their priority. Instead of telling us, instead of every time they speak to us 13 minutes, they say, it's coming. Just wait and see.
Yeah, and you know what is, and
so let's get with the poll, and let's get with the poll on the news.
Drink less. Alcohol consumption across the planet among young people is actually dropping.
Yep.
Yes. So let's get with the poll.
All right. Well, we have.
You remember that after you take a poll close to 7 o'clock, Sir Charles? You don't remember the poll?
No, but we invited the callers. We had the caller in line.
Only I had a part this fight. Let me part this fight. Do you expect the government to eventually get a handle on crime, especially murders? That's our poll this morning. Of course, it's early days yet, but again, you had a lot of time to prepare and you made certain promises. The population supported you wholeheartedly. Don't come and tell me now, it's coming. Just wait and see. It's coming. All right, that's our poll. So we're going to take a few, before we head off to the news, we take 20 seconds of answers, and then you keep voting and we'll read it after the news, right? Ella Rizan says no, Kelcha Cambridge, no, J97, no, Arena Jennings, no, Kent, yes. So we'll stop there, and then we will read from Donna Ramlo-Chan when we come back after the 7 o'clock news, all right?
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is your news update for Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. I am Amanda Mitchell with New Era TT Radio and M&E TV. Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander says the public will soon see tangible results from the government's crime-fighting efforts, promising visible action in the coming weeks. Speaking on TV6's Morning Edition yesterday, Alexander acknowledged that crime typically spikes at the end of the school term and called for public support of Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara. He said a major institutional rebuild is underway, stating we met emptiness, lack of vision, and thoughts. Alexander promised a strong response to illegal firearms, announcing increased police visibility near schools, and criticizing the National Operations Center as non-functional. He later met with CARICOM Impacts officials to boost regional intelligence sharing. The Guild of Students at UWI St. Augustine supports the government's plan to raise the legal age for alcohol to 21 and marijuana and gambling to 25, calling it a necessary public health step. In Friday's statement, the Guild said the move prioritizes student health over temporary freedoms, arguing these substances are linked to poor academic performance and long-term addiction. Guild President Vedanand Hargobin said affected students would receive counseling support through campus services. Formal consultations on the new laws are expected in September when the academic year begins. Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo is urging anyone with dengue fever symptoms to avoid self-medicating and seek immediate medical attention. Bodo said there's no hospital overcrowding due to dengue and emphasized the importance of professional care. The ministry confirmed that while dengue-related emergency visits haven't increased, enhanced community surveillance continues. Prevention includes disposing of items that collect standing water, covering water containers, clearing vegetation, and using mosquito nets and repellent. Diego Martin Northeast MP Colum Imbert is calling the government's plan to make ID cards mandatory in public draconian and oppressive. The measure, announced by Minister Alexander, would help police enforce proposed age restrictions for alcohol, marijuana, and gambling. Imbert questioned the practicality, asking whether citizens must carry ID while jogging, hiking, or visiting the beach. Alexander defended the policy as necessary for age verification. noting that someone could claim to be 40 when they're 17. The Attorney General is currently reviewing the legislation. The Ministry of Education is investigating a security breach at Malick Secondary School that occurred early on July 6th. Unidentified individuals unlawfully entered the compound and ambushed 2 security officers. The ministry is strengthening school security by upgrading perimeter fencing, improving lighting, and reviewing patrol protocols. These enhancements are being incorporated into the vacation repair program to address security vulnerabilities nationwide. You are listening to news on New Era TT Radio. In regional news, Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has announced a limited gun amnesty, new firearms task force, and cash rewards for tips leading to gun seizures following a spike in violence. Citizens can surrender illegal firearms without prosecution, and informants will receive 1,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars per weapon. The multi-agency task force involves police, customs, Coast Guard, and intelligence units. The government will also install surveillance cameras, ban tinted windows on rental vehicles, and assign a special prosecutor for firearm cases. Police have seized 49 illegal guns this year. In international news, India's aviation regulator has ordered all airlines to inspect fuel control switches on Boeing aircraft by July 21st, following the preliminary report into Air India Flight 171's crash. The report revealed that fuel to engines was cut off shortly after takeoff, possibly due to inadvertent switch movement. While a 2018 advisory urged airlines to check locking mechanisms, Air India hadn't acted since checks weren't mandatory. The Indian Commercial Pilots Association defended the crew, saying they followed protocol under difficult circumstances. That concludes your news update for today. I'm Amanda Mitchell for New Era TT Radio and M&E TV. The Breakfast Show with Wendell, Richard and Sir Charles continues right after this short break.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Wake up with the Net Radio Breakfast Show. Rise and shine with Wendell Stevens and Richard Raghuvarsing, weekdays from 6 o'clock to 9 a.m. Start your day feeling good, energized, and informed as we tackle the biggest issues of the day, get you where you need to be on time, and keep you in the know about everything that matters. We bring you insightful discussions, expert analysis, and the latest up. You're always ahead of the curve. Mornings matter. Your voice matters. And it all starts right here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio. The Net Radio Breakfast Show, weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. Wake up informed and stay ahead.
Men, women, tired of the invasive, painful old methods of testing prostate and breasts?
The Institute of Health and Fitness Clinic and Wellness Center offers comprehensive and non-invasive diagnostic testing, which indicates the nature and extent of diseases and tests your nutritional levels. Our quick testing can identify early signs of problems by evaluating many of the bodily functions, such as male and female sexual function, gastrointestinal function, liver function, kidney function, thyroid function, heart and brain function, and also cancer testing. Results are comparable with other medical lab tests without the use of needles or embarrassing specimen cups, and is pain-free. We also offer all natural treatments. Visit us now at number 79 St. Vincent Street, Tunapuna, or call 492-7397 or 289-6363.
Join me, Brother David Muhammad, every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, Powerful Radio. Join me to hear knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into Net Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Enjoying the morning watching the day unfold. Jada works is wonderful. It's something to behold. Well, if you love life as much as I do, put something in the air now. And if you love Jah as much as I do, put something in the air. Let me see your hands up, everybody. Hands up, everybody. Hands up, everybody. Let me see your hands up, everybody. Hands up, everybody. Hands up, everybody. Well then, raise the glass, take a toast, wave your hand from coast to coast. Pick up your phone, make a post. Life is the utmost. Raise the glass, take a toast, wave your hand from coast to coast. Pick up your phone, make a post. Life is the greatest thing, now sing. Life is the greatest. Life is the greatest. Life is the greatest. Life is the greatest thing, now sing. Life is the greatest. Life is the greatest. Life is the greatest. Life is the greatest thing, oh yeah. Take a look around you, front and look behind you. Jah works is everywhere. And if you take a look inside you, somewhere deep within you, trust me, He's always there. Well, if you love life as much as I do, put something in the air now. And if you love Jah as much as I do, put something in the air. Let me see your hands up, everybody.
Morning vibes, fresh energy. This is the Net Radio Breakfast Show.
Everybody, hands up, everybody, hands up.
Well, I couldn't even say it any better. If you love life as much as we do here on The Breakfast Show, everybody put your hands up, right? Welcome inside the second hour of The Breakfast Show. This is New Era TT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean. We're glad to be here with you, okay? And remember, we stream all day, every day. And of course, our next engagement with the YouTube channel will be at 4 o'clock this afternoon with Tony Fraser, side of the Drive Time Exchange. There's a lot of great conversation taking place there also, all right? So let's pay some bills before we get back to the breakfast show.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Looking for trusted, affordable security and property services? Horatio Services has you covered across Trinidad and Tobago. We offer battle security, K9 patrols, 24/7 protection, and all sorts of private investigations, discreet, professional, and effective. But that's not all. We also provide construction. From building to renovation, we bring your vision to life. Landscaping, keep your outdoors looking sharp and inviting. Maintenance, repairs, upkeep, and everything in between. At Horatio Services, you get professionalism, reliability, and personal care. Whether it's safety or property support you need, visit us at Marino Street, Arima, or call 388-7070. Today, Horatio Services, protection, precision, peace of mind.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop. Located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davanti tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
You want to sit down? Pops. Pops.
Oh,
He's
my
still talking,
word.
you know?
Serious?
Oh, Lord. I'm
Oh.
tired. But you gave me too much hard work here in the morning, eh? And he laughing and carrying on.
Yeah,
And
but
nobody hearing him.
he didn't realize that he doesn't want.
No, of course he realizes it. Look, he pointing fingers and the pen and thing. He's doing a mime now.
No, I'm just playing the idiot.
I know you're playing the fool.
Yeah.
I know you're too long, Richard.
So,
I know you're too long. Of course I know you play the fool.
oh, God. Can we continue with the vote? Because I see Mr. Richardson is already in studio. So
Yeah.
we should hurry up with the poll so we don't keep our guests waiting.
Well, our interviews are 7:20, eh?
7:15, I tell my guests.
15.
No, you need to change that to 7:20 because of the poll that
But
we
let's
always
go-
starting late because Sir Charles has take a call late.
That is not
We always start the poll late. We have to do the guest at 7:20.
I
Our poll
stand
first.
duly corrected,
I'm not
and you have a
arguing.
very good point. Now there is data to sustain
To
that
support
point.
that. Exactly. Thank you
But
very much.
there are additional arguments to that too, but I wouldn't get into that now.
Nah, not today.
Right. Not here.
Not today. But guess what? It's coming. It's
Maybe
coming.
in the tea room.
Donna Ramlo Chan says yes. Chevron Shogun, no. Ava Smith, no. Dwayne Sylvester, no. Suzanne Jessup, no. Margaret Thomas, no. Sherma Paul, no. Joyce Phillip, no. Estelita Sampson, hell no. Cheryl Henry, you didn't vote. Ram Naresh, you didn't vote. Except you're going on that road again that you always go. Deryck Bill, you want to take that for 5 years, Ram Naresh. Deryck Billewin, no. Garfield Hazel didn't vote. Alistair Hart, no. Helen McCarthy, no. All right. Ram Naresh finally votes. He says yes. Classic Brother, no. Jason Samuel, yes. Scorpion Pepper, okay. You didn't vote. Marlene Watson, you didn't vote. Garfield Hazel, you didn't vote. Marlon Motley, no. Kurt Hope from Nashville, no. Garfield Hazel, no. Pearl Cordis, no. Michael Robinson says no. Far Rockaway, Totin still. Beauty Culture, no. DL didn't vote. Cheryl Henry, no. And Rena Jennings didn't vote. Scorpion Pepper says they abstained from the poll. Stick Money Grip, no. And Carol Guevara, no. And well, CJ from New York, no. Susie B, no. Lots of chatting taking place here. Another Rockaway Israel told sometimes, pull it now. We do polls for everything. Cheryl M, no. And DJ Inferno, no. Anthony Atwell, no. And Dwayne Aguilera, no. Bernadette Yates, no. That's it. We have to cut there, people. So, Charles, do you have any?
Yes, we have a few of them. Pauline says yes. Kurt Edwards says no. Black Pearl says no. Terry and Peter says no. Brenda in Penal says no. Zena says hell no. Joseph Clement, no. Horatio Services, no. Anand says yes. And Sean Ram says yes. That's it.
All right. That's
the
it,
poll now
Richard.
closed? Is
Yes,
the
Polls are closed.
All right, so we had 47 people voting on the poll this morning, and a poll for people who are listening and not watching because it's up on the screen. Do you expect the government to eventually get a handle on crime, especially murders? So that's our poll for this morning. We had 47 people voting on the poll this morning, and of the 47 people voting, 40 of you said no, you do not expect the government to eventually get a handle on crime, especially murders. A lot of people are pessimistic about crime, aren't they? And 7 said yes. They were a little bit more optimistic. So 7 said yes, that the government will eventually get a handle on crime, especially murders. But the vast majority saying no, 40 of you saying no. And that's it for our poll. 47 people voting, 40 said no, 7 said yes. The poll is now at an end. When you see I crumple it up this way, you could continue to vote, but it's no longer counted. And end of. All right, so we could bring in our guest, Mr. Richardson. Of course, Deryck Richardson is the president of the Estate Police Association, and he's on standby waiting to join our program. So let's bring him in. Good morning, Mr. Richardson, and thanks for joining us on the breakfast show this morning.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
We are good. We prefer that you're on camera. Is there a reason you're off camera?
Yeah, I'm on the road.
Oh, okay. But be careful while talking to us when driving.
Yes, sure. I'm well equipped.
Yeah, we make all kinds of statements here that sometimes you might say, oh God, and you might pull to the side. But
No. I pull on this. I pulled up. I make sure I pull up. I can't take a ticket. I ain't got no demerit points, but I can't take a ticket.
I totally understand. Well, welcome to the show, and thanks so much for joining us on the breakfast show this morning. We appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. I don't think we've ever spoken to the president of the Estate Police Association, so this is the first for us, as far as I'm aware. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So give us a sense of. I know we are talking school security this morning, and obviously as the president, you have raised certain concerns, and you've called on the Minister of Education, Dr. Michael Dowlap, to get engaged in the issue of security in schools. How much of a problem is it? Is it isolated to certain schools, or is it a general problem across the school system in Trinidad and Tobago?
But the security of the children and the schools particularly is a serious concern, and it is a general issue. If you look at the statement we would have put out there was, while it was relative to the latest attack on security officers by the criminal element, it really spoke to a malaise at the fact that for years and years and decades that we have neglected the actual security arrangements that is necessary to protect the schools and persons going in the schools, the teachers, and all of that, right? What is happening is that the infrastructure, whatever infrastructure that was laid down decades and decades ago, has fallen apart, right? We now have situations in this country where, of course, our schools are highly populated, 600,000, 700,000, 800,000, right? And that the security arrangements in 1962, 1917 are coming up the road, is the same security arrangements that are present in our schools. So definitely there is a need, because of the rise in crime and because of the numerous incidents of people coming into the compound, stealing, interfering with children, drugs being found on the schools, and on children in the schools. We definitely need to look at how we protect the children and the tools that are given to the persons who are charged with protecting them, to upgrade those facilities.
But those facilities wouldn't have degraded suddenly. This would have been years and years of neglect. Would I be correct to say that?
Yes, it would have been years and years and years ago. Okay, what you have now is, because there wasn't any design consideration given to the actual placement or where the security officer operates. So you put the officer in the front of the school, and you put a gate, and you put him in a hut, and you tell him to operate from there. And that's basically what we have. The fencing, which is extremely important in the areas where the officer cannot be have any visible line of sight. In fact, let's put it line of sight. That is a layer of protection. That is a layer of physical security that is extremely important. Lighting is also something that is extremely important. Manpower, adequate manpower to carry out the duties is another extremely important. What is happening now is that in secondary schools, the Ministry of Education is saying 2 persons, 2 security officers, 2 estate police officers, as the case may be, to the secondary schools, and 1 for the primary schools. Now, that was all well and good when crime was at its all-time high. But certainly now, with the risk assessment that would have been, the risk to the country would have been gone up exponentially. We know in a zone where every day we see murders, we see younger children being involved in crimes and all of that, right? Then we definitely have to look at the infrastructure now and make the necessary adjustment consistent with the threat evaluation. And we haven't done that because everybody seems to think that it's just a cost and that, it's going to cost X and it's going to cost Y. But look at the cost situation.
Yeah, but this would all come under, Mr. Richardson, this would all come under the Ministry of Education, who would have its financial allotment from the budget. Is it that the Estate Police Association has made demands to the Ministry of Education, because everything eventually comes down to dollars and cents? And have they made those demands that the Ministry of Education and at least lobby, let me use the word lobby rather than make demands. Have you lobbied the Ministry of Education in terms of this? You are the ones who are on the ground. You are seeing the gaps in the security infrastructure. Have you lobbied the Ministry of Education in terms of getting the additional funding that they would require to upgrade the security infrastructure, especially maybe starting with schools that are more at risk? I assume there are some schools that are more at risk in terms of something happening than others, and that you gradually roll out whatever you see as the ideal security infrastructure across the school system across the country.
Yes, we have. But I've been in office since 2018, and we have always advocated for improving the security infrastructure. It always, as you say, it always comes down to cost. Let's look at it. The Ministry of Education engages private security contractors to secure the schools, mainly NMTS. Okay, and if you look at the allocations that have been allocated, in fact, to the security in the budget and the line items in the BLO book, you would see that it has been going down. What you have now is that the Ministry of Education, being the biggest debtor to NMTS, to the tune of over $200 or $300 million, they are, but yet with increases in the minimum wage and everything, we saw the allocations being made under the security line going down. So it said something to us, and we raised that issue. How could you increase your cost by wages, and yet in your allocation and doing allocation, dropping it down, knowing that you fully well have these hundreds of millions of dollars owing to the NMTS? So we have been doing our work. We have been trying to get the authorities to take a serious look at what it is happening in our schools. We have done the audit.
Mr. Richardson, is it that the former Minister of Education, which would be Nan Gatsby Dolly, is it that she was not sensitive to the concerns that the State Police Association was raising?
Well, we can say, yeah, because we can say that she didn't do anything. She didn't do anything. It's my information. We did the audit, right? When the EPA through the branch board at LMTS, I requested that they go out to the schools and look at the security infrastructure and produce an audit. This audit came back to me. It was sent to the NMTS management, who in turn sent it to the Ministry of Education. And if one recalls that there was a statement made by Ms. Gatsby Dolly that at the point in time that she wants value for money from NMTS. So we say, well, what value are you for money? Because we actually right now we are in the black with you and you're in the red with us. Because you haven't done anything for the infrastructure of the schools, and you're now demanding more of what is called value for money from this environment. It seems to think that you want us to just go onto the compound and operate as some Superman, right? That have all seen eye and could be everywhere at one time, and it does not work like that. So when we look at it from just the perspective of a dollar value, right, we tend to lose focus on the real issue of why it is you have security in the schools, and the fact that the crime is in your schools at present. Children, when we speak about high-risk schools and all of that, listen, all schools are at risk right now, and that is what is happening. There are some who may be more at risk, but all schools are at risk right now because children at all levels are getting involved in all sorts of activities and all sorts of influences that come straight from the society, in the environment where they live, and they bring it into the schools.
Mr. Richardson, I have a couple of questions for you. Well, three actually, because I just saw another one in the chat. The issue you had raised the issue of criminals attacking security guards. When and where did that happen? That's one, because I don't remember that incident.
Yeah, that happened recently. That happened recently.
Okay, I wasn't aware of it. And you also raised the issue of lighting, poor lighting. But is securing these schools a challenge in the night when the students are no longer there? And also,
of course, most of the time, these attacks take place in the night, right? These people, if you look at, I don't know if you saw the TV6 clip, right, where we showed the fence line, and where we showed that where the holes are, and we show how remote it was, and then there was the absence of lighting, which would have assisted the security officers on the compound to have a better line of sight. If you have what you have in the back of these schools, right, they dump everything near the fence line. So these criminals, they have obstacles that they will hide behind. So they put the one officer makes a patrol, and he go and he leaves and he makes another patrol in another part of these schools are huge. So one officer, improper lighting and a compromised fencing, right? No monitoring is expected to adequately secure the schools, which cannot happen, and it should not be. That is a policy of the ministry that is just two officers at these locations. Cannot be.
So are we talking vandals here? Because
no, we're actually not speaking as vandalism. We're speaking about people coming in and with intent to steal. Okay. Right? They would steal. They would look at computers, look at anything of value that is there because they case the place,
Right.
They know what are in the schools and they come for what they want to come from. And they have been robbing now the security officers of their cell phones or whatever money that they have. There was an incident where they took a car, right? There was one down in Barrackpore where they broke down the door and went in and custodied the security officer. So they know what it is they are coming for. And the person who will stop them from achieving their aim is the state police or security officer.
Yeah. I'll tell you something, Mr. Richardson, and I'll give you, I always have a personal experience, right? Years ago, my car was held up at gunpoint. I was held up and my car was taken away from me at gunpoint. And the police escorted me and they were looking in all these places that they say that they put stolen cars and so on. And strange enough, my car ended up in a school compound. I'm telling you, this is a personal experience, Mr. Richardson. My car ended up in a school compound. The person arrested, one of the people arrested for the stealing my car was in fact an estate police constable, the guard at the school, who was allowing the criminals to use the school compound to do those activities. Have you ever heard of anything like that? And are you concerned about incidents like that?
Of course we're concerned. In any organization, you will have those persons who are employed and will be involved in criminal activities. Now, that's one of the issues that we have, and we have been speaking about that thing like that. Some of those security companies, their vetting of those persons who actually employed in their companies is very low, because what they are looking for is a body to put by to satisfy a contract.
Mm-hmm.
So they can take anyone, give them 2 weeks training, and then say, hey, you're on this location, and this is what you have to do. And exactly the situation that you described there could happen easily. Remembering those things happen in the police service, those things happen in the defense force, those things happen everywhere in the banks. People will seize opportunities to take part in any activity and do it their team and in their best interest. Right? Which may not be in your best interest or the nation's interest. But the fact is that there is a concern, and we have raised those concerns at the highest levels in this country concerning the security industry and how it operates. We have stated to them, these private security companies, that because of the low cost that they decided, especially government, has decided that, listen, we are going to take the lowest bidder. And the lowest bidder sometimes does not give you, most times does not give you the best product. But if you just focus on the lowest bidder, then those situations will arise more frequently.
How do you respond to the proposal of the government to put police officers in schools?
There has to be an interim measure. An estate police officer has police powers under the Supplemental Police Act, right? So we have all the powers, rights, duties, immunities, and responsibilities of a police officer below the rank of corporal. So we can arrest it before the courts, summons the entire gamut of what a constable in the police service is responsible for. We also have that power. So while we understand that at present there are some things that have to be worked out, right? But putting police officers in the schools has to be a stopgap measure while we work through the nuances of getting more precepted persons, people who are precepted as estate police officers by the Commissioner of Police, which is a problem right now because the precepts coming out, that process of getting people precepted is extremely slow. And that is a situation that we would have written to the incoming Commissioner of Police, the last Commissioner of Police, to address. Then you also have the issue of firearm users employee certificate, right? That is also an extremely lengthy process. We have spoken publicly and made representation of, okay, when we have those people in the schools, let's look at non-lethal weapons, tasers and whatever, right? Look at those things as solutions to properly addressing the issues which may arise from time to time. So while we understand the emergency now and all of that, we are saying that you should engage the arm of the protective service, which is the estate police, who have more power of the police officer in engaging in the school system. That is our stance.
Don't you think it will pose more of a danger, though, to have armed guards at these schools, especially in light of the incidents that you've been speaking about?
Well, you see, yes, of course there will be an armed officer could pose more risk, if you want to put it that way. But then, I remember there was a situation in, I think, a Success Laboratory, where those guys were firing some shots and they passed through the boat and lodged right in the boat there, right? Then probably what needs to have is a force, needs to meet with force. But what we are proposing really is for the normal that we have the issue of non-lethal weapons, which will deal with the school violence part of it. Not necessarily to confront the school violence part of it, right? Which is a large issue here right now. So yes, what we are advocating for is increased manpower, better security infrastructure via lighting, fencing, monitoring, all of that. And that gives you a package of tools for which you can adequately address the issue. And also the soft issues of the treating with the issues of the children in the schools as the really and truly the core problem, right? So the fence line communities, the community policing and all of that, those are the things that will ultimately be down to the benefit of the security of the schools and the security of the country and the environment in which the communities, in fact, where the schools are situated.
Now,
as the current minister, Dr. Dowlat, have you all had a meeting with him as yet?
No, we haven't had the opportunity to have a meeting with him as yet, but rest assured that meeting is being brokered right now to meet and have a sit down with him, with tutor, with the principals associations, and all of that. We need to have all stakeholders sit down and look at the issue of the security of the schools. And not just sit down with us. We want everybody at the table to sit down and have this discussion as how do we adequately secure the schools and the children.
In terms of well, I mean, all the children that you are dealing with are in fact minors at the end of the day, right? How challenging is it when you have the issues of the drugs and so on in schools? And is that as prevalent as some people are making it out to be?
Yes, it is prevalent as some people are making it out to be. A lot of it goes underreported. A lot of it are dealt with by the principals in the schools, and that causes a problem, right? So it is a serious problem. There are any child, and I have had reports coming out of those coming out to me of persons going into a store, buying a uniform, young man, school days, but not attending school, and passing through and entering into the schools to do what they have to do. They're not students, right? And the officer at the gate would not be all the, because he would not expected to know the face of 600 to 1,000 children who enter into the schools, and going into the schools with and retrieving the drugs hidden in the back and all of that, and going their way. And those are things that are live. Those are things that has been reported and have been proven. A lot of principals want to dumb down things because they don't want the reputation for the school to be compromised, right? And these things are unreported. The parents are calling to the school and all of that. So there are things. If you look at the Education Act, the Child Protection Act, the judges' rules as to how you interact with children who are found to be wanted, there's a slew of legislation which actually needs to be for us to sit down and discuss how it works interchangeably with each one. What is the role of the principal in this issue? The principal has a lot of responsibility as it pertains to he or that person now gives direction to the officer because she's in charge of the school, right? And you have the client relationship to manage. So the officer by the gate or the principal will say, no, don't do that, and you'll allow this one and allow that one. So immediately then you see a lot of the things that have been put into place to protect the area have been compromised because of some of the actions of some of the principals. So that is why we need to sit down with the principal association, everybody, to say, listen, we have to look at this from the standpoint of a health and safety issue. There are health and safety officers in the Ministry of Education, right? Very few, one or two assigned to our school, right? So we have to look at it from a very holistic, I don't like that word, already a holistic view as to the actual protection of the schools. And if we don't do that, we will just be putting plasters on the stores, as we like to do in this country. Put plasters on the stores, and after saying that there's a money issue. What is the value of your child going to school in an environment where that child does not feel protected, where that child is constantly bombarded with drugs and pressured by their peers and all of that to get involved in these activities. What is the value of that? We cannot place a number value on that. And we have to address that as a serious issue in this country. Otherwise, continue to go down the road.
Yeah. Mr. Richardson, you earlier on you mentioned that a lot of the companies are just putting a body in a booth to satisfy a contract. But what responsibility does the Estate Police Association have in ensuring that these people are trained properly? What training exercises do you all go through before issuing a contract?
Well, we don't issue contracts. What we do, we are the representative body, right, for estate police officers. We have sole representation rights. What we have been doing is advocating, right, for better training, better equipment, and improving the legislation. As a matter of fact, before this government, we have asked for access to a particular place in Expectoration where we want to have our own academy. We want to be able to train people. We want to get involved in that. So we can have our own academy, similar to what the police service has, similar to what the municipal police have. We are saying that that estate police officers ought to be adequately trained, right? And the issue of contract, that is something between the client and the contractor. We don't get involved in that at that point in time. We are the end product of that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will get that because the Ministry of Education is ultimately the contracting party in terms of giving the contracts.
Yes.
With respective schools. Is it that principals? Do you encounter that principals are sometimes reluctant to make decisions that will enhance security in schools? Because it has been my experience in terms of speaking with people that sometimes principals don't want to make decisions because they figure they're very conservative with regard to decisions that may enhance school security. And it could be simple fixes. Sometimes it's a simple fix, but unless they get some sort of feedback from the Ministry of Education, which of course takes time.
Yes, well, to be fair to principals, there are a lot of principals who are quite engaged in trying to fix some of the issues. Again, it comes down to, as you quite rightfully said, the Ministry of Education and the resources to carry out those repairs to the fencing and the lighting and all of that. Right? There was a school, particularly in Miaro, right? That when you speak to the principal, it will show you the amount of times that they would have requested funds, to actually effect some of the repairs, and and it just wasn't forthcoming. Remember, I said that right now, there's an issue with salaries in NMTS, and that is the main contractor, one of the main contractors, because there haven't been any transfers from the ministries to the NMTS. So there's always an issue with money, access to money to deal with issues, especially as it relates to security, because they see security as the one that they could they could set it aside. We have bigger things to deal with. And they have always treated it as a bastard child. It is there just to say that it is there, but to pay no real attention to it until something happens, and then they say, where is security officer? Like recently, there was a breach, and the whole country was saying, so where the security was, and that is what happens in this country. We don't pay value to things that are important to us, the police service, the security services, right? Until something happens, right? And then we found wanting badly and sometimes in critical areas when sometimes there's loss of life, and there's some trauma to the children and all of that. So here we are.
Yeah. Are you willing to take some calls, Mr. Richardson?
Sure.
Yeah. But a lot of people are also supporting that notion of security officers being underpaid and overworked. That's always been an issue with security. Lord knows I had a partner, he used to work security. And I mean, with nothing to do sometimes late in the evening, night, I would go and just hang with him. And it's a tough job. It's tough and especially in the environment some people work in. These little hot boxes that they work in. I cringe sometimes when I think about it, But
I will take some of your calls at this point. 281-1315, 281-1315.
Yeah, we have raised that same issue with the OSH authority concerning the requirements for proper ventilation of these the what they call them security boots and all of that. Those are the kind of conversation that we have been having, trying to really and truly not just be an organization that seeks only to get increases in salary, but overall increase and improve the environment in which the officers have to operate.
Yeah. What about CCTV cameras and so on in terms of monitoring and so on? Is that a feature in a lot of these schools and in a lot of the booths?
You see, it's left up to the school, public school principal and the school board to have that. It is largely not utilized across the schools, and that is something. This is a layer of security that we encourage because of the size of the schools. You also have a situation where there's an absence of communication. You have two officers in the school, but there's no walkie-talkie, there's no other form. So one goes on a patrol. How is he expected, or he or she is expected now, to communicate if something should be found in it? Pull out your cell phone.
For that, Mr. Richardson?
Huh?
Shouldn't the company itself ensure that these officers have a way of communicating with one another?
Of course, but it does not happen. It does not happen.
Wow.
It does not. It is absent. It is absent. Because everybody counts pennies, but they don't count the things of the officers' lives.
But that's kind of almost basic that you have officers would have a way of communicating with one another.
It is a serious concern which we have brought up and continue to bring up, right? You know what? On the day that you hear estate police security officers decide in this country that enough is enough and say, we are going to shut down this place for one day, then you're going to see the value, because those things are important, because under the OSH Act, the employer is mandated, in fact, to provide a safe working environment. And if I am not feeling safe, if you're not giving me the tools in which then I have to raise an issue under the OSH, under Section 6 of the OSH. We have to start to look at these things from the perspective of properly equipping people to do the job which they are already underpaid to do.
You know, I wanna ask this question based on some of the comments I'm seeing on the chat. Does the Estate Police Association have any court matters where they've arrested and charged anyone? Do they have matters before the courts?
Lots of matters before the courts. Lots of matters before the courts. I was an estate police officer at Petrotrim before we were sent home, and we will appear in the court routinely. You would see that in the Port Authority, you would see that in the Airport Authority, you would see that in the CDA, in the TNTEC, in the WASAs, and all of them. Right? We do appear before the magistrate, having arrested and taken people before the court of law. Right? MTS also. Right? So there are numerous instances before the court where estate police would have charged people or being the witness on behalf of the state in matters that before the courts.
Okay. All right. 281-1315, we're taking your calls. We just have a couple minutes left with Mr. Richardson. Yeah. Mr. Richardson, anything else you want to raise in the meantime while that we may not have covered?
Okay, well, in relation to the school issue, I want to say that it is extremely important that the parents, civil society, persons who are interested in this, in the children, wake up and support the proper equipment and the proper equipping and security of these schools. We cannot any longer look at security as just an add-on. Let me just tell you this. A security officer is different to an estate police officer. A security officer does not have the right of the power, in fact, to arrest, except under common law. The estate police officer, who is precepted by the Commissioner of Police, has such power. But let me tell you this. Under the laws of Trinidad and Tobago, these officers who are required to 12 hours. Most of the shifts is 12 hours. They do not even have access to annual leave and the sick leave lawfully. We have asked the government since 2019 to address that with no tangible results coming out of that. Right? So you have people working 12-hour shifts, 18-hour shifts, 24-hour shifts on these compounds sometimes, and they don't have any lawful right to annual leave and sick leave. It's at the behest or the whims and fancies of the employer to decide to give you 5 days, as the case may be. These are the things that are actually affecting proper security.
But is that the responsibility of the government, or is that the responsibility of the contractor who got the job with the state to provide that leave? Unless you are suggesting that the state include that as part of the contract with the contracting part.
No. What is happening is that they will under the minimum wage sectoral order, you find there are provisions for annual leave and for sick leave for different sector of workers. If you look under the minimum wage sectoral order for security officers, there is no lawful provision for the 14 days in which the worker in other sections is entitled to. So the contractor, he will give 5 days, 6 days, as the case may be. It is up to him. What we are saying is that the law must support annual leave and sick leave as other sector of workers. Why is it that this sector of workers is so different that there's no lawful obligation by the contractor to pay you annual leave or for sick leave?
So it's a legislative thing. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's a legislative thing. It is legislated in under the the Minimum Wages Act. That is how people get annual leave, access to annual leave and for sick leave. It's true that
so that's what I'm saying. The contractor is supposed to include that as part of their terms and conditions of employment of any estate police officer working for that firm.
Right.
Let's call it Firm A. You're working for Firm A. Firm A is supposed to provide those facilities to you. When Firm A gets a contract to guard Arima Boys RC, just taking on a school out of my head, and Firm A gets that contract, and Firm A assigns those estate police officers.
Right. So okay. Now, once you have an agreement, now not all security companies have negotiated agreements with the Estate Police Association, right? But all of those companies that do have signed agreements with the Estate Police Association have access to annual leave and sick leave in their negotiated terms and conditions. However, those companies that do not have, and they are more outside than inside, that do not have signed agreements with the Estate Police Association, there is no legal requirement for them to do that. If there's a contract between the client and the contractor, say, listen, I want you to give these guys 5 days, 10 days sick leave, then that is up to that contract. But what we are speaking about is that it must be a legal obligation for this sector of workers to be treated evenly as it is other sector of workers are treated.
Yeah, but and I get that. But what I'm saying is their responsibility. Is it your best case scenario that the state, the Ministry of Education in this circumstance, should only hire contractors who meet the terms and conditions of engagement of their officers, who are aligned with the Estate Police Association, that only those kinds of companies should be hired by the Ministry of Education? You're saying that should be the prototype? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, I'm suggesting that. I'm suggesting that from the standpoint of and a very important point that you're making here. Because we have advocated that, listen, there's a number of security companies who enjoy contracts from the state, who don't even pay NIS, right? So if you are a contractor and you're not obeying the laws of Trinidad and Tobago, how could you not enjoy the largest of the state, or contracts from the state? How or why? So if you are a contractor, right, the state engages you, the state has to ensure that all these practices, all these things that that you are required to have on building is in place. So I totally agree. That is something that we have advocated for.
All right. Well, that's why we're going to have to leave it this morning, Mr. Richardson, because we're now 8 a.m. on the dot.
Yes.
But we want to thank you for the conversation. I mean, interesting perspective or lens into that whole issue of security at schools. That it's not something that we would have focused on this show before, and in any tangible way. And so we thank you for the conversation, and hopefully you will have some more traction with Dr. Dowlett than you had with Nan Gatsby Dolly in terms of the situation.
Yes. Well, we are hopeful. We'll continue to do the work. Thank you for the opportunity to bring the information to the nation. It's something that we have been trying to do. So thank you once again, and thanks also, Charles, for reaching out.
Okay, Mr. Richardson.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, we go straight into the 8 o'clock news, and when we come back, we close off. But guess what? If you continue to send your ads and so on, we'll go till 9 o'clock. You never know. I'll have to convince Richard and Sir Charles, but I'm good at doing that.
Okay. I think I got third host for the third hour.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is your news update for Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. I am Amanda Mitchell with New Era TT Radio and M&E TV. Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander says the public will soon see tangible results from the government's crime-fighting efforts, promising visible action in the coming weeks. Speaking on TV6's Morning Edition yesterday, Alexander acknowledged that crime typically spikes at the end of the school term and called for public support of Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara. He said a major institutional rebuild is underway, stating we met emptiness, lack of vision, and thoughts. Alexander promised a strong response to illegal firearms, announcing increased police visibility near schools and criticizing the National Operations Center as non-functional. He later met with CARICOM Impacts officials to boost regional intelligence sharing. The Guild of Students at UWI St. Augustine supports the government's plan to raise the legal age for alcohol to 21 and marijuana and gambling to 25, calling it a necessary public health step. In Friday's statement, the Guild said the move prioritizes student health over temporary freedoms, arguing these substances are linked to poor academic performance and long-term addiction. Guild President Vedanand Hargobin said affected students would receive counseling support through campus services. Formal consultations on the new laws are expected in September when the academic year begins. Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo is urging anyone with dengue fever symptoms to avoid self-medicating and seek immediate medical attention. Bodo said there's no hospital overcrowding due to dengue and emphasized the importance of professional care. The ministry confirmed that while dengue-related emergency visits haven't increased, enhanced community surveillance continues. Prevention includes disposing of items that collect standing water, covering water containers, clearing vegetation, and using mosquito nets and repellent. Diego Martin Northeast MP Colum Imbert is calling the government's plan to make ID cards mandatory in public draconian and oppressive. The measure, announced by Minister Alexander, would help police enforce proposed age restrictions for alcohol, marijuana, and gambling. Imbert questioned the practicality, asking whether citizens must carry ID while jogging, hiking, or visiting the beach. Alexander defended the policy as necessary for age verification, noting that someone could claim to be 40 when they're 17. The Attorney General is currently reviewing the legislation. The Ministry of Education is investigating a security breach at Malick Secondary School that occurred early on July 6th. Unidentified individuals unlawfully entered the compound and ambushed 2 security officers. The ministry is strengthening school security by upgrading perimeter fencing, improving lighting, and reviewing patrol protocols. These enhancements are being incorporated into the vacation repair program to address security vulnerabilities nationwide. You are listening to News on New Era TT Radio. In regional news, Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt has announced a limited gun amnesty, new firearms task force, and cash rewards for tips leading to gun seizures following a spike in violence. Citizens can surrender illegal firearms without prosecution, and informants will receive 1,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars per weapon. The multi-agency task force involves police, customs, Coast Guard, and intelligence units. The government will also install surveillance cameras, ban tinted windows on rental vehicles, and assign a special prosecutor for firearm cases. Police have seized 49 illegal guns this year. In international news, India's aviation regulator has ordered all airlines to inspect fuel control switches on Boeing aircraft by July 21st, following the preliminary report into Air India Flight 171's crash. The report revealed that fuel to engines was cut off shortly after takeoff, possibly due to inadvertent switch movement. While a 2018 advisory urged airlines to check locking mechanisms, Air India hadn't acted since checks weren't mandatory. The Indian Commercial Pilots Association defended the crew, saying they followed protocol under difficult circumstances. That concludes your news update for today. I'm Amanda Mitchell for New Era TT Radio and M&E TV. The Breakfast Show with Wendell, Richard and Sir Charles continues right after this short break.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Devante tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
Looking for trusted, affordable security and property services? Horatio Services has you covered across Trinidad and Tobago. We offer battle security, K9 patrols, 24/7 protection, and all sorts of private investigations, discreet, professional, and effective. But that's not all. We also provide construction. From building to renovation, we bring your vision to life. Landscaping, keep your outdoors looking sharp and inviting. Maintenance, repairs, upkeep, and everything in between. At Horatio Services, you get professionalism, reliability, and personal care. Whether it's safety or property support you need, visit us at Marino Street, Arima, or call 388-7070. Today, Horatio Services, protection, precision, peace of mind.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Morning, Clint Williams. You feel my pain? I feel your pain. It's all you who went and watched that match. You know, I didn't watch a ball. Anyway, good morning also to Janelle Pennicom is young, Miss Universe. And of course,
our best Miss Universe since.
Yeah?
Our best Miss Universe since.
Most definitely our best by far.
And she still looks well.
Oh yes.
Are you all dissing Wendy Fitzwilliam?
No, we're not dissing, no, but I mean, we have
it seems so.
No, we have a
We
relationship.
should say that we love all our Miss Universes, but Janelle Penny-Commission, who is a special place in our heart.
Yeah, she stands out.
She's been with the show for so long. Say something like that.
Well, there you
But
go.
the way that you and Charles in it, you're all crude and classless.
Well, you said it, Richard. You said it, and you couldn't have said it better.
All crude and classless.
You see, that's
Come
why
on.
we have you here, you know. That's why we have you here. You could not have said it better.
It's more than just legal.
But and thanks for all the new people that continue to join us from all over the globe. We're getting a lot of new people. Of course, we know some of you all changing up your names, but that's all right. We appreciate it, you know. But yeah, and continue to chat us. What I can do? I can't tell her. That's in response to beauty culture. She said, when Richard Wendell and Sir Charles, the tit for tat between some folks here is becoming quite distasteful. It's not just distasteful, it's petty. And I just don't have time to deal with it every day, beauty culture, because it happens a lot of times when we are interviewing guests. You understand? While some people stick to the topic and pose questions to guests, some people go off on a tangent with their pettiness. I don't have time for it. Not all the time.
Can't run down every car.
Yeah, I can't run down every car. You understand? So, but it's good that at least they're here with our show. They ain't going nowhere else. We are happy for that. You understand?
And we'll take out the good comments and views coming forward.
We'll ignore some of the pettiness, but you know, as long as it doesn't get disrespectful. That's all. You know, let them chat. You know, but what do we have coming up? You know, this month have no holidays. You know that, right?
July? No,
July doesn't have any.
But we go again in August.
It's not something. But at least I experienced a no traffic drive on the highway yesterday.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Traffic is much less.
Oh yes, thank God for that.
These children who would be driving and cluttering up the roads.
Yes. And going and getting the estate police are set up trouble by the gate when they're driving in the school compound. There are plenty of children drive to school, you know. Don't get tired, you know.
Yes, especially.
They can't smoke, they can't drink, they can't smoke weed, they can't drink, and they can't gamble, but they're driving to school, you know. If the government had its way.
Yeah.
I think that's just a proposal.
And you know what is astonishing?
Raise Richard's honestness again.
No. What is astonishing to me is that the student guild at UE supports this. I find that astonishing because universities are often the most liberal and would be more and the university guild was bold enough to say to do away with the temporary freedoms, basically. Yeah, they said it like that. And I'm like, what the hell is going on in the UE Guild? That wasn't the guild when I was there. The guild when I was there was very defensive of young people and their rights. Because if you have a right to vote, you have a right to drink. And that's how I would see it.
But let's get the UE Guild now.
I was now going to suggest that when
the UE Guild, the UE Student Guild, saying that statement, which we featured in the news because Sir Charles wanted, of course, to give it some sort of promotion. And I was like, I see through here, no, Sir Charles. I see through here, you know. I see through here. But, you know, but I am not the type that will say, you're trying to promote an agenda. Here, let me delete this.
It's in the news.
There are many things in the news.
But you see where you going?
You know where I go in Wendell. But you know, but to your credit, in that news item, Sir Charles,
I didn't know you could put alcohol in coffee.
I found, of course you can.
Put alcohol in anything.
Yeah.
An Irish coffee. What do you think it have in it?
Yeah.
But what I found strange was that the student guild, which at least when I was in UE, was ferocious and liberal and inclusive and about young people and stuff, seemed to be doing some sort of conservative life. It have a conservative disease worse than COVID going around.
But Richard, isn't that where most brilliant scholars may have had their first drink or smoked their first weed.
Well, the student guild, let me tell you, Wendell, it gets worse. The student guild used to run a bar on UE when I was there. Obviously, they don't anymore, according to what the president of the student guild is saying. And I don't know how come students in UE are so quiet. Well, they're on vacation, but I found that amazing. I found that amazing, and that just feeds into my theory. You know, I get in a little conspiracy theory as I get to meet your age, Wendell. I get a little conspiracy, theory, and I'm saying, how many people are they reaching out to say, make a statement, make a statement, make a statement? Because that's what it feels like.
Yeah. But we should try to get these students.
You know, us on this program, we call it how we see it.
How we see it.
If you don't like it, well, tough. But that's how we operate. We call it like we see it. We could be wrong. I ain't saying that we're right. We could be wrong. Sometimes we say things. But when we are wrong, we say we are wrong.
But I like your observation there, Richard. You know, Richard said how they calling out this one and that one to make a statement.
I think so. That's how it comes across. All of a sudden, everybody has an opinion on this, and all of a sudden, it's getting a lot of media play.
Support.
When you know the politics.
Yes.
Better than Sir Charles and me. Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Please.
All right, people.
Anyway, come to the end of our show. Don't forget, keep sending your ads and so on. We'll happily show it, because this show has gone viral all over the world. This show has transcended and transformed into something that we didn't expect in this short space of time. But guess what? We have you to thank for that. You and you and you and you and you. Right? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Oprah. All right, so have a fantastic day, whatever you do, and remember to smile and laugh above all. No matter what the world throws at you and what politicians throw at you, wherever they are on the planet, and then have politicians across the planet that throw stuff at you as the citizens, no matter, even in all of that, remember to smile and laugh.
Yeah,
it's good for your health. Enjoy life.
One life, people, live it. And this has been
The Breakfast Show.
Yeah.